Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is a 732 Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. As a lot of you will know, as we've talked about in other battle videos, as Rome Total War now is over 18.5 years old, we're trying new types of battles here, as we said, to inject new life and new excitement and new joy, if you like, into Rome Total War, and this battle is no exception. Yes, this is a 31k battle, but it's a no rules battle. So yes, we're playing for 31k, no rules, and we're fighting it on the Thracian Foothills map. When was the last time any of you played on the Thracian Foothills map? So this is one of the Rome Total War's forgotten maps that we're playing on. Okay, and as I say, very hilly, but if you notice here at the top, you'll see it's quite even to either side here. Both sides here it's pretty even, and we've often talked about this house being built there in a dip, where so when it rains that house would probably get flooded. I don't know why we've talked about this house on this map, but we have talked about it on several occasions. But there you go, and you can see there the actual map itself. As I say, it's a Thracian Foothills map. It is a 31k battle, but no rules. Okay, so as I say, we're trying new different type battles here, as I say, just to try and freshen up RTW after 18.5 years. Okay, so our first teammate is Brotherhood member Earth. Now Earth has got 11 archers, 7 cavalry and 3 berserkers, and of course he's got his cavalry there as well. If you notice there, he's just got 3 upgrades on his archers, but remember they are elite archers. Let's have a look at his Gothic cavalry there. Oh my gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, fully upgraded Gothic cavalry. Okay, check the specifications of Gothic cavalry, you'll see how good they are. And now he's fully upgraded them, and he's taken them out of the elite bracket into the super cavalry bracket there. And of course he's got his berserkers there, with their effective against armor maces, their 2 hit points, and their massive morale sapping ability, where they sap morale from enemy troops, of course making them more susceptible to routing. So make no mistake, these are arguably the most powerful units in the game. Okay, but I think Earth did say to me that he forgot that it was a no rules battle, so that may be not the army that he would have bought if he'd remembered it was a no rules battle. Our next teammate is Brotherhood member Vicox. Now Vicox has got 4 Silver Shield Legionnaires, 5 Silver Shield Pikemen, 3 archers, 6 cavalry, 1 elephant and 1 chariot. So he's certainly got a diverse army here. There's his Silver Shield Legionnaires. As I say, they look a little bit like urban cohorts. They throw pilas, they can do testudo, but they're not as good as Roman urban cohorts. And if you notice there, he's put 7 upgrades on: an experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack. And then you've got the Silver Shield Pikemen there. I notice he's got 7 upgrades on them as well. Just look at the length of those Seleucid pikes that the enemy are going to have to fight down to kill the man on the other end. And they say with 7 upgrades on, giving them that experience stripe, because their morale's not very good, is quite important. And then of course he's got his cataphracts there. Now if you notice there, he's only got gold shield, gold attack on his cataphracts. Now usually we call the cataphracts the tanks of the ancient world because they're armoured from head to toe. But I think for this battle we're not going to call these guys the tanks of the ancient world. We're going to call these guys the tanks of the ancient world. Armoured elephants there. Okay, and if you notice there, they've got archers on their backs, so that the archers there can shoot into enemy troops. And make no mistake, the fear factor that elephants bring is really morale sapping there. So he's got 1 unit of them, and he's got 1 chariot unit. Remember, we've talked about these before. Big fear factor, taking morale away from enemy troops. Big attacking specifications too. But if they run amok, they kill both friend and foe alike, and become a menace to both friend and foe alike. So it really is a double-edged sword bringing chariots. So there's the Seleucid army of Vicox. Just look how steep these Thracian foothills are. Look, those troops look like they're almost going to fall off the hill there, don't they? The hills are so steep there, and there's that that's one of the buildings there in a dip. And as we move over here, our next teammate is Brotherhood member Aurelius. Now Aurelius has got 14 pikes and 5 light cavalry. Okay, 14 pikes, 5 light cavalry. Check out the upgrades on his pikes there. Now, can you see he's got 8 upgrades? As we know, the Greek clan was the best clan on Rome Total War with the pike and spear faction because they practiced for hours and hours on them. I remember years and years ago an old Greek clansman told me the optimum upgrades from Macedon is 8 upgrades, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. If you go for 3 stripes, the money that you spend is not worth what you get. So 8 upgrades, 2 experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack on Macedon are reckoned to be the optimum upgrades on the Macedonian pikes. And just look at the length of those pikes that the enemy's going to have to fight down to kill the man on the other end. So as I say, he's got the optimum upgrades on his pikes. Quick look at his cavalry. And he's got 8 upgrades on his light cavalry, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. These can be very useful cavalry. They're a little bit more tough than what you might think as well for light cavalry. So that's quite a good army. And our last teammate is myself, Spartan commander, and I've got 13 Spartans and 5 archers. Okay, 13 Spartans and 5 archers. To show you here, I've got 4 of the long range elite Cretan archers. And I've got 1 of the medium range cheap archers there as well. So I've certainly got a mixture there. So there's our team. It's got the potential to be a cracking battle. Remember, it's 31k, no rules. And here is the other team. We have GOTW Leanbod. Now Leanbod has got 8 Sacred Band Spearmen, 4 cavalry, and get ready for this, 7 armoured elephants. Okay? So 8 sacred bands, 4 cavalry, and 7 armoured elephants there. Quick look at the upgrades on his spearmen, and you'll see that he's got, I think, 6 upgrades on his sacred band spearmen. So that's gold shield, gold attack. That's quite low upgrades for sacred band spearmen there. So that's his 8 spearmen there. Now, if you look at his cavalry, no upgrades, and he's only got his light cavalry there. Okay, so no upgrades on his cavalry, and low upgrades on his sacred band spearmen there. So he's going to rely, I think, he's going to throw the dice here and rely on his elephants to do the damage for him there. Notice no upgrades on the elephants. And those of you that like specifications and things like that might like to know that an armoured elephant with no upgrades costs 2,780 denarii. Now for that, you get a 6 attack, a massive 19 defense, and get ready for this, 12 hit points. So 6 attack, massive 19 defense, and 12 hit points. And that's why he hasn't got very many upgrades on the rest of his troops, is because I think he's going to rely on his elephants to do the damage for him in the course of this battle. As I say, just look how massive they are. They've got those archers on their backs as well to shoot arrows into the enemy team. And never underestimate the fear factor that elephants bring, sapping really a load of morale away from enemy troops, really making them susceptible to routing. So that's Leanbod's Carthage army there. As I say, I think he's rolling the dice there, hoping that his elephants are going to do the job for him, I think. Okay, their next teammate is Brotherhood member Uther. Now Uther's got 7 cataphracts and 12 horse archers. 7 cataphracts and 12 horse archers. Imagine the firepower with 12 horse archers. Look at the upgrades on his cataphracts there. Well, that cataphract's only got 5 upgrades on. I'm thinking maybe a gold attack, maybe silver defense there on his cataphracts. But the firepower that he's going to bring with those horse archers there, they are Armenian horse archers, some of the best in the game, but they're also quite unique because I think they're the only unit that don't change out of their pajamas. They just get out of bed, get onto their horses with their pajamas on, and just fight from there. So very unusual to see the pajama wearing horse archers there. So let's say he's got 12 of them there. So let's say just think of the firepower that those Armenian horse archers can give. And I say they're elite as well. Their next teammate is Brotherhood member Wolver. Now Wolver's got 4 archers, 10 infantry, and 6 cavalry. Okay, quick look at the upgrades on his infantry there, and he's just got gold shield, gold attack on his forward units of his battle formation. If you look at the rear of his battle formation, you'll see that he's got 7 upgrades on the rear line of his battle formation there, an experienced stripe, gold shield, gold attack. So he's certainly got mixed upgrades in his army there. You see his general's got 7 upgrades on as well. So reasonably good upgrades there on his infantry. And it'll be interesting to see what upgrades he's got in his cavalry. I would think possibly 7, maybe an experienced stripe, gold shield. Yeah, there you go. He's got an experienced stripe, gold shield, gold attack on his cavalry there. So I think that's a pretty good Roman army there. And I think it'll be interesting to see how well you use it during the course of the battle. Now their last teammate is GOTW Romex. Now get ready for this. Romex have got 10 horse archers and 10 headhunting maidens. Okay, now he's gone for the cheap horse archers here. Remember, Scythia's got some really elite horse archers here, but he's, as I say, he's gone for the cheap ones here, the cheaper ones, but they still can be effective. And of course, he's got the headhunting maidens. Now, headhunting maidens there, you might think that these girls are innocent, young, tender and caring. Well, they're certainly not that. These are the deadly ladies of Rome Total War, with their effective against armor axes. Make no mistake, they are a force to be reckoned with. Cavalry versus cavalry, they are a real force to be reckoned with their effective against armor axes there. But as I say, calling them maidens makes them sound innocent, doesn't it? Well, they're certainly not that. And with all the firepower from those horse archers, plus the power of those headhunting maidens there, and look, they're up against Germania. As I say, I think Earth forgot, he said that he forgot that it was a no rules battle, and now those horse archers could really punish them, because remember, barbarian troops are incredibly susceptible to any kind of missile fire. So those Germanic troops there could be in for a real bad time there with all those horse archers facing them. So there's the enemy team. It's got the potential to be a cracking battle, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle here, you'll see Uther has brought his horse archers up onto the hill there. You'll see that I'm running my troops up towards that hill at the moment. Okay, we've literally just pressed start here, so you can see how fast moving the battle is right from the very beginning there. Okay, but as I say, don't forget Uther's got that massive amount of horse archers there that he could really do a lot of damage to our allies. Remember, both Macedon and Seleucid suffer quite a lot from missile damage. So there you can see that both Aurelius with his Macedonians and Vicox with his Seleucids there are trying to capture that hill. But make no mistake, those horse archers will be shooting into them. And as we said, those pike units will suffer a lot of damage from missile damage there. So say Vicox and Aurelius there forming up on that hill. But meanwhile, over here on our right flank, as I say, you can see the Seleucids against Germania. As I say, Earth forgot it was a no rules battle there. Otherwise, I think he would have bought maybe a different army, maybe a different faction as well. But you can see that those Scythian horse archers are in Cantabrian circle now, shooting into the Germanic archers. Remember, when they're in Cantabrian circle, they're very difficult to kill for foot archers. And there's a headhunting maidens that bang as they charge into those chosen archers of Earth there. So you can see Romex with his Scythians there being extremely aggressive towards poor old Earth's Germania army there. All those horse archers and those elite effective against armor maidens there charging in. As I say, Earth's army is maybe not there built to counter that type of army. Here you can see Aurelius bringing his light lancers over maybe to help Germania there against Scythia. That would be a good bit of assistance if he did that. They're fast moving and he's got really good upgrades on them. But don't forget, you've got Wolver's cavalry over there, his Praetorian cavalry that he can bring in to help his Scythian ally there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on this right flank. Maybe it might be decisive to the battle. Okay, but meanwhile, over here on top of this hill, as I say, you can see Vicox and Aurelius there with their Seleucid and Macedonian armies forming up on top of that hill. Okay, they're going to take a lot of budging from there, I would have thought. But over here, you can see, I don't think Uther saw my Spartans arriving there. He didn't move his cavalry out the way, and I've managed to kill a few of his cavalry, including one of his cataphract units there. So that was quite advantageous for me there to be able to do that. But let's just pause the game for a second here. So as I say now, I've managed to capture that hill, chase the horse archers off. My archers, my foot archers, are running up onto the hill as soon as they can there to get up on that elevated ground for more range and more damage. But just look at the number of horse archers and cavalry that the enemy have got. Now here comes those 7 armoured elephants, Carthage armoured elephants of lean bods there. Okay, remember they've got a massive charge factor. They've got 12 hit points, and they're going to try and, I think, smash into our allies on that hill there, backed up by their Scipio ally there. So it'll be interesting to see how well our allies do there on that hill against that massive attack. Meanwhile, over on our right flank here, Aurelius, being the good teammate that he is, has brought his light lancers over to try and help against Scythia here. But just look, you can see so many headhunting maidens, and you can see Wolver bringing his Scipii cavalry over as well. So it'll be a real tussle here on this right flank. Remember that Earth's Gothic cavalry are fully upgraded, but he's going up against headhunting maidens who have got effective against armour axes. There you can see his berserkers there running towards the enemy troops. He hasn't activated them yet, but my guess is that he will do that. He knows that if he tries to take them up on the hill or something to help his allies, the horse archers will probably shoot them to pieces. So the best thing for him to do with the berserkers is to throw them into the battle over on that right flank as soon as he can. Now meanwhile, over here on top of the hill, you'll see those Carthaginian armoured elephants there moving towards our allies. Just look at that mass of elephants there. Now I noticed here, can you notice anything here? Aurelius has forgotten to put his pikes down. Can you see his pikes are still up? So those elephants are going to smash through his pikes there, because he needs to put those long pikes down, because that's the strength of the phalanx there of those pikes, and they could well repel those elephants. But if he doesn't get those pikes down, then those elephants could literally smash through his units. If you notice, Vycox with his Seleucid pikemen, notice his pikes are down. Can you see there? His pikes are down, ready to receive an elephant charge there. Okay, but remember, both Macedon and Seleucus' morale is very, very low. Okay, they've got very low morale, and I think those elephants smashing in there could cause a lot of damage and a lot of panic to the troops there. Uh-oh, you can see our Germanic allies' generals just been killed by the maidens. Right, let's just pause the game for a second there, so you can see those elephants really pushing in there. And I say, Aurelius still hasn't got his pikes down. I think during the course of the battle I typed to him, Aurelius, put your pikes down, just to give him a bit of a reminder for that. But meanwhile, over on our right flank there, you'll see that Earth has now activated his 3 berserker units, and like we said, he's thrown them into the battle there rather than let them just get shot to pieces by horse archers, and they are now fighting Wolver's Praetorian cavalry. Now over here is an interesting tussle. You can see there's 4 headhunting maidens, maybe 5 headhunting maidens there against a fully upgraded Gothic cavalry, plus those Macedonian light lancers there charging in as well. So I think that's an interesting tussle there between those cavalry units there. As I say, Wolver's cavalry there fighting those 3 berserker units. And up here that you can see that Vycox has still got his cataphracts plus his elephant there that he hasn't deployed yet. So whether he's going to charge those down there to help his allies against Scythia and those Scipii cavalry, we'll just have to wait and see. But meanwhile over here you can see those elephants are just about ready to smash in to Aurelius' Macedonian units and then maybe crash on through to the Seleucids behind them there. Right, there you are. You can see just there, you'll see the Macedonian pikes went down. I think Aurelius just got my message there to remind him to put his pikes down. But just look at those elephants smashing in there. These big, massive armoured elephants. These really are the tanks of the ancient world. But as I say, Aurelius has got his pikes down now, so he's in the best position to try and repel those elephants. But just look at the amount of Macedonian pikemen being thrown up into the air by those elephants there. And you can see Wolver moving his Scipii infantry forward there as well. If he charges those in as well with the elephants, that could be real trouble for Aurelius' Macedonians and Vycox's Seleucid troops there. Just look, they managed to bring down a few of those elephants, look, with the pikes. but the elephants are still pushing forward. Look, don't forget there were 7 units there, and don't forget they've got 12 hit points there. See them pushing into the Macedonians there, and into the going through into the Seleucids. Right, you can see that Lean Bod's bought his gold shield, gold attack, Carthage Sacred Band Spearman into the fray as well there. So he's coming in as well, and as I say, Wolver's moving forward with his Scipioid infantry there. So I just hope that Aurelius and Vicox can hold against that massive attack. And look at these horse archers and those heavy cataphracts ready to charge in as well. So as I say, as those spearmen of Lean Boz there could charge into the flank. I'm trying to catch them up. Look, my Spartans are just on that hill. I'm trying to run over now to help my allies, but whether I'll get there in time, I'm not sure. And meanwhile, over on our right flank there, you'll see that I think Earth's done well. He's routed a lot of those headhunting maidens there with his fully upgraded Gothic cavalry. But whether there'll be some more headhunting maidens coming towards him, we just have to wait and see. But I think he's done well there in routing those headhunting maidens, bearing in mind they've got those effective against armour axes. But as I say, his Gothic cavalry, very underestimated cavalry, and he's fully upgraded them. So I think he's done quite well there on the right. Now you can still see there's some horse archers there, and still some headhunting maidens there. And you've got those berserker units attacking Wolver's Scipioid cavalry there. So they'll be doing a lot of damage to that cavalry, I would think, those berserkers. I think Wolver might be a good idea to move his cavalry away from those berserkers there, because he will be suffering loads of casualties, which he's already done by the looks of the dead cavalry around him there. Here you can see Vicox moving his Seleucid cataphracts over to that right flank to help his Germanic ally and Macedonian ally there against Scythia and Scipioid cavalry there. But meanwhile over here, you can see those elephants coming around the flank of our allies there, going to smash into the flank of our allies. You can see a lot of our allies' units starting to rout now. Now, if you notice here, can you see frightened by elephants? If you look at the writing, can you see they're like frightened by elephants? What that basically means is they're having morale actually sapped away from them there by the elephants. So not only are the elephants attacking and smashing and crashing our units, they're sucking the morale out of our units as well, making them more susceptible to routing. So there you are. You can see those elephants there doing a heck of a lot of damage there. And I say 7 of them there, bringing a lot of fear factor to already troops that have already got low morale anyway there. Just look how they're smashing our troops, our allies' troops, up in the air there as the elephants smash into those units. Right, let's pause the game for a second there, and as I say, you can see my Spartans have just got onto the hill. I'm going to charge them into the rear of those Carthage Sacred Band Spearmen, but there's a couple of elephants there that have run amok. Okay, so make no mistake, they will be killing both friend and foe alike, those run amok elephants. So as I say, they become a menace to their own allies there. So it might be a good idea for their own allies to keep their troops out of the fray there if they can, because those elephants will kill them. I can see Lean Bod charging his light cavalry in there as well, trying to force, ram home the attack there with his light cavalry. Oh my gosh, just look at the damage that those elephants have done, and they've done what they've wanted to as well there. Right, okay, so all of Aurelius's Macedonians and all of Vicox's troops have now been routed. There's Aurelius's general there, but look, all our Seleucid allies and all our Macedonian allies, pikemen and silver shield legionnaires, have all been routed by that massive elephant attack. Combination elephant attack of enemy cavalry and enemy infantry as well being thrown in there. You can see Uther's cataphract smashing in from the flank as well. So as I say, this could well be quite a short battle there, with all our allies just been routed. You can see I'm bringing my Spartans in there to attack those Sacred Band Spearmen there. But as I say, you can see all our Seleucid allies. There's the Seleucid general. All our Seleucid allies and Macedonian allies infantry have now been smashed, crashed and routed there. So things not looking very good in the centre there on the hill. And Uther's got all his horse archers over here shooting in to our allies' cavalry. You can see Vycok's got his cataphracts there, and you can see those berserkers are still chasing after Wolver's cavalry. But unfortunately here you'll see that after an initial success of the Gothic cavalry, it looks like the headhunting maidens have managed to rout the Germanic cavalry of Earth there. Okay, so all of it looks to me like the vast majority of the Germanic army has now been taken out, and those headhunting maidens with their effective against armour axes there have done a really good job there on poor old Earth's army. In fact, I think Earth might just have its 2 berserker units left and an archer unit left, and I think that's all he's got. And there's Uther's horse archers shooting into them there. Those berserkers won't last very long, I don't think, as they're charging into those horse archers. And you can see Uther backing those horse archers off now. But I say, over here on the top of this hill, we've just seen all our Macedonian and Seleucid allies' infantry get taken out. Here I can see my Spartans now attacking those gold shield, gold attack, sacred band infantry. I've got enemy cavalry in behind me there, and those heavy cataphracts of Uther's. Let's just pause the game for a second here. So I think all the elephants have been used now. You can see there's a mass of elephants dead there, but you can see also a mass of our Macedonian and Seleucid infantry there dead as well. Now I'm hoping that some of our allies are going to rally. Some of the elephants have still run amok, but I think most of the elephants are dead, and just a couple of units have run amok there. And here you can see Wolver taking his infantry down, I think, towards our right flank there. He doesn't really want to take the Spartans head on, but he's got 4 of his archers there shooting in to my Spartans there. Remember, with all the horse archers the enemy have got, plus foot archers as well, they could really start causing my Spartans a lot of damage there. And you can see those enemy cataphracts in behind me. If you notice there, I've turned my general to face the threat of those cataphracts if they want to charge in behind. I've got my archers up on this slope here shooting into the enemy, and I was just waiting for those cataphracts to charge into my archers to kill them all, but strangely enough they didn't do that. They didn't charge into my archers, which really surprised me there, because I thought my archers would have been a prime target for enemy cavalry there. But as I say there, you can see my Spartans pushing in to those gold shield, gold attack, sacred band spearmen there. So as I say, I think Leanbod threw the dice there, hoping that his 7 armoured elephants would carry the day. But that dice throw has worked out quite well. As I say, you can see all my allies' infantry there were completely routed by that massive elephant attack. As I say, you can see those amok. There's an amok elephant there. I think he just killed some of his own allies' cavalry there. So if you notice there, I'm forming up my Spartans there, waiting to see what the enemy are going to do next. I'm going to sit up here at the moment and just kind of look at what's going on around the battlefield. Right, let's pause the game for a second there. So anyway, you can see Wolver moving his infantry away, all those horse archers moving over to our right flank over there. Here I think this is the only unit now that Earth has got left, this archer unit. The rest of his army has just been taken completely out. So that's what he's got left there at the moment, is that archer unit. Whether any more of his units are rally, I don't know. But hopefully some of my allies' units are routed. There you are. Vycok's Seleucid units some of his units seem to be rallying there. And my guess is he'll take them up to join my Spartans, which is what he's doing. He's going to join the Spartans there. And you can see 1 unit of Aurelius as Macedonians have rallied as well. So we've got a few rallied units there, but remember, once they've been routed, their morale is even lower than what it was before the battle. So it'll be interesting to see how they do, and my guess is they'll keep those units close to my Spartans. At least my general's still alive, so I can give them a general morale bonus there. That amok elephant there, as you see, with the red banner flashing above him. Very dangerous, that is. I don't know, units on RTW that run amok, like chariots and elephants, they seem to be stronger in amok mode than in normal mode, so I want to keep my troops away from that amok elephant there. And as I say, you can see my archers, look, still up on that hill, in close tight formation for more impact and more damage, and the enemy cavalry haven't hit them. I thought they would have been a prime target for enemy cavalry to attack. Now what I'd like to show you here is, because you see Wolver tactically moving his archers there, that he's also got them in close tight formation to get in behind me to shoot into the rear of my Spartans, but he's come a bit close to my Spartans there, don't you think? He's a bit close there, a bit susceptible to being attacked by my Spartans. Plus he's running into that muck elephant as well. It just killed a lot of his archers. I see how that elephant threw them up in the air like they were like little balls there. Like he's still smashing into them now. But that's given me a chance now to charge my Spartans into those archers of Wolvers there and managed to rout them. So I'm pleased about that. That was pretty good there, because I got a feeling those archers are going to go behind me and start shooting into the rear of my troops there. So I managed to take those out. Now remember, at this stage of the battle, several of my allies were saying to me, box up, go into a defensive formation. That's what they were saying, but I didn't want to do that, because I knew if I went into a defensive formation, the enemy horse archers would just get into different positions where they could just shoot into the back of my Spartans while they were in a boxed up position. So what I'm going to do there, I'm just going to face the enemy with my Spartans at the moment, and I'll probably box up as a last resort. But at the moment, I'm not. I don't want to do that. I should be reluctant to do that, because, as I say, their horse archers would just get into different positions where they could just shoot into the back of my Spartans in my defensive formation. So, as I say, I'm going to just face the enemy at the moment. There you can see Vycox and some of his Silver Shield Legionnaires have rallied, and he's got a couple of pike units there as well. As I say, one of Aurelius's pike units has rallied. And over here you'll see that you've got Uther's cataphracts there, and you can see that a couple of lean bods Carthaginians have rallied as well. Now you can see Vycox charging here. Now whether he's going to charge in to those cataphracts of Uther, we'll just have to wait and see. But as I say here, I'm just going to face the enemy at the moment with my Spartans. I'm not prepared to go into a defensive position yet. There's a unit going into Testudo. That's the Seleucid General unit there. See, the Seleucid General still alive there, stood behind that unit just gone into Testudo. Look at that. This is a real formation used by the Roman army back in the day. Look at the protection the infantry have got from missiles in that Testudo formation there. There you can see Uther running one of his cataphracts there. It looked like he was running into maybe attack one of my archer units there, but I've intercepted it with one of my Spartan units, so that unit will probably, yeah, that cavalry unit of Uther's will rout there. So quite pleased with that. So as I say, that's the troops that we've got left here, my Spartans there, but just look at the enemy troops there, all of Wolver's infantry and all those horse archers there. Just waiting for me to go into a defensive formation, so as I say, they can move those horse archers around and shoot into the rear of my Spartans, so I don't really want to do that. As I say, I can't believe I've still got all my archers left. They've been so exposed to a cavalry hit. I'm really surprised the enemy haven't smashed my archers out. I'm pleased they haven't, because my archers are causing quite a few casualties, but yeah, I'm surprised at that though. But say they're facing those archers there, horse archers and foot archers there. Right, now over here, I think I can see Vycox attacking with his Seleucid cataphracts uphill into those Armenian cataphracts, and bang! As they smash into each other there. Oh my gosh. Just looking at, if we look in close, I think you'll see they've both alt attacked. Because you'll see if we look in close there, you see there you are, can you see they're using their effective against armour maces instead of the light lances that they would usually use. Remember, when they alt attack, they use these effective against armour maces, and they are very effective. And you can see that the Seleucid general's done the same. Look, if you look, you'll see there you are. Look, some of his Seleucids are using the light pikes, but other Seleucid units are using their effective against armour maces there. Okay, so as I say, that's their alternative weapon. The alt attack is the effective against armour maces, and they're both using that at the moment. But you can see those horse archers come in behind Vycox's Seleucid cavalry there. I think Vycox's cavalry only had gold shield, gold attack on, if I remember correctly. So their morale's not very good. We know Seleucid morale's not very good. And there you are, all of Vycox's heavy cavalry there, his cataphracts, have just been routed by the Armenians there. And of course you had Lean Bod's got a spear unit in there as well. But as I say, I think looking at the numbers here, Vycox's cavalry may well rally unless the Armenians chase them off the battlefield. They may well rally there and come back. But there you go. They've done well there. The enemy's done well to rout Vycox's cavalry there, and that chariot unit of Vycox has also been routed there as well. So there you go. So I say at the moment my Spartans up there and some of my rallied allies units are holding that hill at the moment, but just look at the cavalry, the horse archers, heavy cavalry, and all of Wolver's infantry then waiting to attack there. There's that Amok elephant still running around, still killing anything it comes into, friend or foe alike. Oh, there you are. It's come out of Amok mode now, so I think he'd be a good target for my archers to kill. If my archers could just get a few arrows into him there, I think that elephant, bang, there he goes. Oh, and did you see the two archers fall out of the that box on top the elephant there? So my archers managed to target that elephant before it could get close. And there you can see I'm turning my Spartans now to face the main threat of the enemy there. Okay, you can see all those enemy horse archers and infantry over there. As I say here, you can see Romex is using his Scythian horse archers to shoot in to my troops there. He won't be shooting into the Testudo units because he won't be, you know, they won't do any good, but he will be aiming at my Spartans. And I said, just look at all those Armenian horse archers over there and these Scythian horse archers shooting into us there. But as I say, I got my Spartans facing the threat. So I'm not prepared to box up at this stage of the battle. I'm not going to go into a defensive formation. I'm just going to keep them facing the main threat there. So you can see Vycox has got a couple of his pike units have rallied. Let's say Aurelius has got one pike unit rallied out of his entire army there. So that's good news there. He can watch that particular flank there against enemy cavalry attack. There, remember that's a 121 man unit reduced to about, what was it, 60 odd. There comes Uther's horse archers there. If you notice, they're very tired though. And remember, when they get tired, very tired, exhausted, their battle proficiency drops like a stone. So there's Uther's horse archers there, probably getting ready to shoot in to my Spartans. And at the rear there, you can see the Scythians there shooting into us as well. And there you are, you can see Wolver's infantry and all that cavalry moving over towards us there. It'll be interesting to see what tactics the enemy team are going to employ now against us, because we've got no cavalry now at all, and they've got loads and loads of cavalry there, which they could really maybe make the difference in this battle. Let's say you got all of Wolver's Scipii infantry there. Remember though, these elephants, they can act like barricades. The dead elephants on the ground can act like barricades. You'll see this a bit later on. It's something that obviously you know we don't see in our normal 31k battles because we don't have elephants. But the dead elephant carcasses, they really can act as barricades, as you will see a little bit later on in this battle. And there you are, you can see Uther's got his horse archers in Canterbury and circle there shooting into us. So as I say, I'm going to move my Spartans where I'm going to face the threat. I'm not going to, as I say, I'm not going to form a defensive formation up. I'm just going to face the threat at the moment. As I say, if you form up a defensive formation, straight away you hand the initiative to the enemy, and when the enemy have got a lot of horse archers, that can be a bad thing to do, unless you really have to. There you are, you can see Vycox coming out of Testudo. He may well try and chase some of those horse archers away. There you are, look. He's going to try and chase the horse archers away there, just to try and get them off our backs a bit, like, if you see what I mean. Right, now, here's a rather unusual tactic here, and I think Wolver got a little bit of criticism over this from his teammates. Can you see Wolver now is attacking up this steep hill towards my Spartans? Okay, now on the face of it, you might be thinking, what the heck is he doing that? It's not a very good tactical attack. But what I think the thinking was behind this with Wolver, and I don't know whether he communicated it to his team or not, is that what he wants to do is to hold and pin my Spartans there. See, so he's kind of offered his infantry like a bit of bait there. And what I think he wants me to do is to charge forward, so I'm slightly downhill, and then all his allies' cavalry, both horse archers and heavy cavalry, can then get onto the higher ground behind me, and then get a downhill charge bonus into the rear of my engaged Spartans. Do you see what I mean? So I think his teammates there were, I think they were having a little bit of a go at him for attacking there, but I think that's what his tactic was there, is for my infantry to charge forward, to be pinned and held by his Scipii troops, where his allies' cavalry could get up behind my troops ready to charge in, if you see what I mean. Right, so if you pause again there, also if you notice here, Wolver's got what I call overlapping units. And what I mean by that is these overlapping units that could come round and come in behind my Spartans and attack the rear of my engaged Spartans as well. You see he's got overlapping units this side, and he's got overlapping units this side as well, which he can also bring around to attack the back of my Spartans there. Okay, so imagine if all the enemy cavalry, all of Uther's cataphracts, all his horse archers, plus Wolver's cavalry, and anything left that the Scythians have got on top of this high ground here, see, and then charged downhill into the rear of my engaged Spartans. That's what I'm thinking Wolver's thinking there. I can't see any other reason for him attacking as he is there, unless that was the tactic there. He's just waiting for his allies' cavalry to get behind my Spartans there and smash into the rear of my engaged Spartans. That's all I can think of, that what he would have done this tactic for. Okay, if you notice here, I've turned some of my Spartans there in anticipation of a flank attack by enemy troops. Notice there I'm facing to the right there with some of my units, just in case the enemy want to charge in there. And also I think I'm going to put some units behind my engaged Spartans there to counter any cavalry charge that wants to come in behind me, get onto that higher ground. Pause again for a second here. So as I say, I've turned a couple of units to face the threat of any cavalry trying to smash into the rear of my engaged Spartans there. And also I've got my Seleucid ally there with his rallied troops coming over to help my Spartans there as well. So we've got him, and we've got one of Aurelius's rallied Macedonian units there as well to help. So as I say there, that's what I think the planning was, the thinking behind Wolver's attack. That on the face of it seemed a bit strange, that tactic, but I think that's what he was hoping, was his allies going to get behind my Spartans on that higher ground and then charge down onto my engaged Spartans there. But I'm not sure if you could say that it's worked really. And here you can see, now you know I said to you earlier about the elephants those dead elephant carcasses act as barricades. If you notice here, can you see they can't charge through those dead elephant bodies? All they can do is go round them. You see that? So if you can form up like kind of a defensive formation in amongst those elephant bodies, the enemy troops can't get through those elephant bodies. You see, as it's a barricade, they can only go through the little gap. Can you see there's a little gap between those dead elephants? That's the only place that the Roman troops can get through to try and get to my Spartans. So there's something you might not have known. You know, veterans watching this as well might not have seen this before. The elephants' bodies, especially these massive armoured elephants, really can act as barricades if you want to set up a defensive formation. Right, we've managed to rout Wolver's general there, so I'm pleased about that. And I'm going to concentrate my Spartans on the rest of Wolver's unit. But can you see all this heavy cavalry here of both Wolver's and Uther's could have got behind on that higher hill up there, up on that higher ground there with the horse archers, and as I say, at one stage smash into the rear maybe of my engaged Spartans. That's what I was thinking that Wolver was thinking there, but I'm not quite sure really if that's what he was thinking, but that's the only reason I could see why he would have attacked like he did there, as I say, to act as bait for my Spartans there. But it hasn't worked out for them there. And as I say there, just look, see how the Romans have charged forward there. Look, can you see? But they can only go between those two dead elephants there. If you notice there, can you see? That's the only way forward to get through to my Spartans behind those elephants, is through that gap. Obviously they can't charge through the dead carcasses of massive armoured elephants. So there, just something interesting for you to see. And there you are, you can see my Spartans now are gradually routing those Scipii troops. Now there you are, you can see the heavy cavalry now has now got behind me on that higher ground. Can you see? But it's it's a bit late, I think, now for that, because we've routed most of the Scipii infantry. So the bait that was put there is now kind of all dead. So you can see my Seleucid ally there, Vycox, charging his Silver Shield Legionnaires in there as well. And if you notice here, he's got his pikemen there. You can see my Spartans now starting to chase the enemy troops down a little bit there. But as I say, our Seleucid ally's got 2 pike units to protect against that cavalry hit there. You see his rallied pike units there with their anti-cavalry pikes ready to get a cavalry charge coming into them there. He'll be ready to repulse a cavalry charge with those units. So that's nice positioning of his pikemen there. And as I say now, I've just upped spears of my Spartans now, and I'm just going to charge towards that cavalry on the hill, if I remember correctly. I just thought to myself, right, that's it. Now I'm just going to up spears and run my Spartans towards those Armenian cataphracts and horse archers. And there you are, you can see Uther's charging down it, and bang! As his Armenian cataphracts and his horse archers have been alt-attacked as well. Bang! As they charge into my Spartans. That was a death or glory last charge there by Uther there with all his cavalry, and we managed to rout them, and it looks like we've gone on to win the battle there. So as I say, if you just look around the battlefield here, it is quite a big battlefield here. If you remember over here, there you are, that's Earth's last unit. That's Earth's last Germanic unit there. And of course that main battle of cavalry kind of was over here on the right flank, where you can see that Earth's Germanic infantry plus you can see some Macedonian cavalry of Aurelius here came over to help to try and fight the Scythians there with their headhunting maidens and their horse archers here. You can see, I think all that Scipii cavalry was killed mostly by berserkers, if I remember correctly. All of Wolver's, a lot of Wolver's Scipii cavalry there are killed by berserkers. As we move up the battlefield here, you can see more clumps of enemy and allied dead. Over here, I think that's where Vycox's cavalry, a lot of his cavalry was routed there, with the Armenians charging in there. And as we move up to the main part of the battle here, up on the hill, you can see this is where you get the mass of dead troops there. As I say, I thought it was interesting to see those armoured elephant carcasses act as barricades there. Okay, you can see there's still some Scythian cavalry left, horse archers left of Romexes, but here, when you get into this part of the battlefield, look at the intensity of the fighting here by just some massive piles of dead. And my guess is when the enemy saw Lean Bod's armoured elephants routing all our Macedonian and Seleucid allies there, they must have thought, that's it, the battle's won now. But somehow we managed to turn it around. So well done to the team there, managing to turn it around there. There you can see a couple of those Armenian horse archers there have just been killed. Like, you can see their horses just hitting the ground, and those archers there just being killed. There's their horses going down as well. So as I say, you can see there are a lot of intensity, and as I say, a lot of our Seleucid allies routed units have rallied now and come back into the fray. So that was quite good there, those rallied units. But as I say there, we've managed to as I say, at the beginning of the battle, when we saw all our Seleucid and Macedonian allies get routed by those elephants, I should imagine we probably thought, oh well, that's it, that's the battle probably over now. But as I say, as a team, we managed to turn things around, so really pleased about that. As I say, you can see the Scythian general there, Romex, still firing arrows into us even now at this late stage of the battle, and I imagine he's going to, yeah, he's just admitted defeat there. So there you are. So that was a 31k no rules battle. I hope you enjoyed it. Unusual there. As I say, Aurelius just got 1 unit left there out of his massive Macedonian army. He's only got 29 men left in there out of a 121 man unit. And as I say, and there's Earth's unit there, he's got 1 archer unit left. So it was a real battle of attrition. Vycox's units here are all rallied troops. They all were routed, but they've rallied now. But you can see there that they've been very battle depleted as well. So as I say, I think we really did maybe snatch victory from the jaws of defeat there when we, as I say, when we saw our allies routing from that massive elephant attack. So the first thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the game. I thought everybody played well. Bearing in mind this is new to us, you know, 31k, no rules. And as you can see, it was a close victory. And something unusual here, well, two things unusual here. Highest kills in the game goes to GOTW Leanbod in the losing team. Very unusual for that, but even more unusual is the second highest kills in the game. Okay, the second highest. So Leanbod got the first highest kills, but the second highest kills go to GOTW Romex. So the first and second highest kills in the battle go to the losing team. How unusual is that? That is so unusual. The two highest kills in the game in the losing team. So well done to GOTW Romex with Scythia. Great kills with Scythia. Looked upon as a lesser 31k faction. Okay, it was 31k no rules, but I thought he's got some really good kills there with Scythia. So well done GOTW Romex there. Well done to Wolver. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but I think the last attack that he did was a tactical thought there, but it didn't kind of work. So that's why he's lost so many men and didn't get many kills. Well done to Uther with Armenia. Got some quite good kills there with Armenia there, with all those massive horse archers and his cataphracts. As I say, well done to Leanbot. Highest kills in the game. So really well played, guys. Great battle there. I'm quite pleased with the kills of my Spartans there, 1,568. So that wasn't bad kills. Well done to Aurelius. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there with that massive Macedonian army he got, but he was smashed and crashed by those massive those armoured elephants crashing into him there. So that's why he couldn't get so many kills. Well done to Vicox. He probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to, but he was smashed and crashed by those armoured elephants of Leanbods there as well. So let's say not great kills for him. And in the end, well done to Earth, bearing in mind that he was fighting that massive Scythian cavalry army with his Germanic troops there. Got some good kills. So really well done to him in the end. Did well. A very diverse battle too. Look, we got Greek cities, Macedon, Seleucid and Germania. Very diverse in our team. And the enemy team, we've got Scythia, Rome, Armenia and Carthage, also very diverse. Do you think that either team has got a faction advantage there from what you could see? Or do you think it was pretty even? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this 31k no rules battle fought on the Thracian foothills map. Look forward to seeing you soon, and bye for now.